want to live my life.
I mean, seriously, who cannot dig this animation? Dude, we gotta talk about this. Get ready for humor. Whether or not some people may believe this is actually happening, it is. The Dragon Man channel is happy to announce its 10th member to the Cinimatic Ten. And that is Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. So it is going to be absolutely amazing to do this trailer breakdown with you guys. And thank you to Universal Pictures for this trailer. And thank you very much. And thank you to Sonic Neto Fanboy KZ, in case that's part of the name, and more for these video clips and images. Woo! So the trailer starts with Ruby at the bay's end and is looking down at this rushing water torrent underneath her. She's a little scared at first, but takes a deep breath and after that plunges into the torrent below and is completely disoriented after she's thrown about by the rushing waters. And at this moment in the trailer, she is at near unconsciousness. But just before everything blacks out, her suction tendrils, I think these are supposed to be like suction cups, like octopuses or something like that. Anyway, they start to light up, and after that, her gills open up, and with a huge surge of light, a new life for her begins. Literally! She then approaches this underwater palace or something. I mean, it's kind of cool how it kind of has like the tendrils of the Kraken as the base. A door opens up into the palace, and then all of a sudden she's having this talk with this other Kraken, most likely someone else from her family. And the yellow Kraken's asking her like a bunch of questions, probably in the film, but the one that we see in the trailer is that she asks that Ruby's mom never told Ruby that she was of royalty, and this pertains to the abilities of their people and the transformation of the Kraken. The yellow Kraken then explains that every woman in their family has the ability to transform into Krakens. But not to say that wherever this is doesn't have other people. They have much smaller versions of some other Kraken octopus beings. And I mean, not to say in this movie and actually in real life as pertaining to the myths, the Kraken are sticking huge! Ruby then starts to freak out because the yellow Kraken then explains that since the royal family is the only family line that can transform into Kraken, that she's a princess over dozens and millions of people. And I mean, she's just a kid. So I mean, call it whatever you want, but I think it's natural for her to freak out. Because they all look up to her, and they're especially doing so in this trailer. Ruby then starts to have a panic attack, but she handles it in this really good and humorous way. I mean, she handles this as if this is, like, somewhat normal, and then the crowd just cheers on for her. It's like, this is the kind of stuff that I'm looking for in this movie. Just humor. I love it! And after her wild experience, she's totally settled on having a completely ordinary day and a completely ordinary life. And I gotta say, this one time, I never noticed the octopus Kyle-looking dog that she has on her bed. I mean, yes, it's a dog because it kind of moves a little bit in the trailer. It's not just a stuffed animal. This thing is alive, and I'm actually looking forward to what the heck this thing is in this movie. But, oh my gosh, I just noticed that these right here are like the teeth of, like, oh my gosh, I think it's like a whale or something. I don't think it's a shark. Please let it not be a shark. But yeah, the thing has just moved. So yeah, there you go. And we see that Ruby goes to Oceanside High School. And what the fish? The fish statue? What in the name of the absolute heck is DreamWorks doing?
I'm sorry. That just hit me funny.
All of a sudden, we cut to this one scene with a librarian, and then all of a sudden, some books pop out of their shelves, and we find out that the Kraken is transforming, because I think she actually, hides in a tube of water in this scene or something, because the only way that they can transform is because if they're wet, they transform into their Kraken form. If they're dry, like on dry land, then they transform into their human form. So, the only way that they can transform into a Kraken is because of moisture. And it is no joke. Yes, the Kraken people that cannot transform into Krakens are not just super tiny molluscule sea monkeys or something like that. No, the Krakens are indeed crazy huge. As we see, she is portrayed basically as a monster in this one scene, stinking towering over the trees. She steps on a sign that says Gordon's Tour Bus, which I have absolutely no idea what that means. This is probably just a, hey, let's throw something in there just for fun type of a thing. I do not think this is an Easter egg to a sequel, although I do hope they make sequels. Ruby is then talking to Cheryl, aka Ariel DreamWorks ripoff, and it's not a ripoff, it's just like a mermaid interpretation, but I do definitely think that Ariel was the inspiration for this character. But anyway, Ruby says that she just wants to be a normal teenager. And DreamWorks Ariel is just like, well, where's the fun in that? So she is a narcissist, she is stuck up in herself, and I think in this scene she's trying to get Ruby to use her powers just because, so that everyone can see that she is a Kraken, so that they will all think that she's a monster. And Ariel DreamWorks will just be like, oh, this is just a sweet little joke revenge, or something like that. I have no idea. Ruby flies through this cosmic force field, or whatever this is, smashing stuff as well, so I think this is just a training session scene. And, oh my gosh, this is going to be absolutely insane. The Krakens in the DreamWorks movie are the protectors of the ocean. So, in this case, it's a flip. The Krakens are the good guys, and the mermaids are the bad guys. Because it is the Kraken's destiny to protect the ocean from the mermaids. And yes, Cheryl, or whatever her name is actually the mermaid. And instead, everyone sees her as a monster. Ruby thinks people love mermaids because, in real life, some people actually do. And the yellow Kraken is just like, of course, because people are stupid. Now, I myself personally don't believe that, but I do definitely believe that this is a very good example of people mistaking what they don't know. And this also refers to the myths and legends that sea men have told that mermaids are indeed evil. I mean, come on. Sirens? And the mermaids are sticking huge too, because this mermaid just totally punches a hole right through a building. Ruby wants to find out her powers, and she gets a torrent of water blown at her, which I think this is a combination of the power of speed and strength in this scene. I think that's just what they were trying to go for here. And anyway, they also have body armor, which, I like that. I like the ability to, harden skin. That's something that's not common in, most movies. And of course, the laser eyes, which don't exactly go out the best for her. Until this one scene with the alarm clock. And then the mermaid and Ruby start to fight. Oh my gosh, this action sequence is just so amazing. And then I think this character's name is Connor, asks Ruby in another scene if they are still going to do, their tutoring, math lesson, stuff like that. And then we get a very iconic teenage girl-like sky scene. Some more fight sequences, people are voting and filming, rather, the whole shebang on their phones, huge energetic blasts, more girl-like sky scenes. And Connor here is basically the only character human who basically likes Ruby, who kind of understands her. And that's something that I dig. And how about this determined underwater shot? That's pretty cool. I definitely think this is going to be in the training session scene. And then opposite ends clash, forming Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken. And this will be in theaters June 30th! Somehow, someway, I will eventually see this movie. Definitely not when it comes right out on June 30th. Maybe I'll just have to wait till it comes out on DVD. However, if it does, I want to avoid all spoilers at all costs. But, well, pretty much blowing that option out of the water since I found out some of these scenes. Never mind then, just add it to the pile. Anyway, make sure to subscribe to the Dragon Clay family to not miss out on my future videos and giveaways. Share with your friends for the trailer breakdown, and make sure to like this video if you are indeed a fan of Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, and are excited to see this movie. I know I definitely am. And, yeah, I just love this movie. Love you guys. Respect for all you guys out there. Peace out.